Hello everybody, my name is Skybound.
Starlight Flux.
And we've just got finished watching Season 9, Episode 18 of My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, which I don't have the title for, but was a very interesting episode.
Yes.
So first of all, reaction and description.
Yeah, mustn't forget that.
Second of all, let's just jump right in with the story, which was a pretty... Let's say
it was a body swap situation.
Yeah.
It was basically your standard sort of trope of body swap, where basically each person learns what it's like to walk in the other person's shoes, or in this case, horseshoes. And, you know, I find it... Okay, first things first, Angel, you can be a complete dick. I'm just going to say that there. And... also, how the hell did a snake swallow a bloody elephant, and how the hell did it survive? Yeah, probably because it's TY. Yeah.
So, first of all...
and also, Fluttershy, I can sort of get the point of two people from opposite sides of the aisle can sort of, you know, work together, sort of fit vibe they were trying to give, but also, Fluttershy, for the love of God, I think, how could it... Predators need meat. Like, you'd like those... I'm sorry, but you're like one of those flipping characters from... Well, not characters, but one of those people who basically feed...
do you know why...
You feed your, like, dog, like, to try and keep your dog on a vegetarian diet, and it basically ends up dying because you don't actually know how to do that properly. Or even just... Well, maybe she does know how to do it properly, but the point is, there'll be people who... care more about keeping their dogs vegetarian than actually keeping them alive.
The thing about dogs is that they are omnivorous, which means that yes, they can eat vegetables, but you do want to make sure that they are getting like the proteins and the stuff that they need to get from meats in some kind of supplement. Now, I am not in any way advocating for giving dogs a vegetarian lifestyle. Don't do it. It's very difficult to balance it out, and unless you're very dedicated, it's not...
And know what the hell you're doing.
And ultimately, it's a very unnatural diet for a dog to have. So I would not recommend it. But the worst one... that was my phone. But the worst one is if you try to get a cat, specifically, to have a vegetarian diet. Cats cannot process vegetables. Therefore, literally... a cat needs meat. A cat requires meat in order to live. If you try feeding a cat vegetables, it will die. It will die very quickly because its body isn't built to process that plant stuff. So don't do that under any circumstance. If you're a vegan, get a fucking hamster and don't get an animal that relies on meat for its nutrients. Just don't do it.
Yeah.
That little moral lesson out of the way.
But yeah, the point is, that little side thing, I can understand why they did that in a children's show, though. So I'll let that one nitpick slide. But especially considering the rest of the story was pretty much on point, although somewhat predictable, I would say.
I think it was a pretty sort of standard, you know, walk a mile in my shoes kind of episodes, which is fine. And I think it was like, I think they actually did a really interesting way of doing it by having it be Fluttershy and Angel, and it did actually do really well at kind of indicating the difficulty that Fluttershy had communicating with the other ponies. And
well, no, you mean Angel?
No, I mean Fluttershy in Angel's body.
Oh yeah.
Trying to communicate with the other ponies and being unable to because no one really understood her. That kind of helped her understand what Angel was going through, and Angel kind of learned obviously from how much work that Fluttershy needs to do, why he was being...
Yeah, why he was being neglected, what he thought was being neglected, but the truth was...
I mean, I'd say that he was being neglected.
Yeah.
I think Fluttershy was kind of, basically, kind of being like, no, I can't talk to you right now, and stuff like that. And it kind of makes sense because...
It's kind of hard to prioritise things like this, because when you've got priorities that are outward facing and to other people, it's kind of easier to focus on them because it affects more people. But if you've got like family It kind of reminds me a bit of those workaholic sort of dads or parents.
Yeah.
Who basically, because that's, workaholic parents who basically focus on getting, their career rather than bringing up their kids. And, it's, they do have commitments. But you have to realise if you've got such a commitment like Angel, I would say you probably want to not take on so many different other commitments, because if he really does matter to you that much, maybe you shouldn't be running an animal sanctuary that size, or at least employing people. But we've never really seen what Fluttershy's job was. Like, does she get paid for it via government grant? I mean, what is her job? If you think about Pinkie Pie, she works at the bakery. Twilight's just a bloody princess, so she basically and that kind of explains how she gets her fund. Basically, she's probably got a trust fund essentially, and basically Rainbow Dash Wonderbolt, which kind of makes sense. Then you've got
and prior to that, weather controller.
Yeah, and basically you got Rarity, which has got a boutique, and Jack, who's got the farm. So where does Fluttershy get? What is her job? Even before the Animal Sanctuary, what was her job?
I'm pretty sure it was like animal caretaker.
Yeah, but then you got vet. But it's like, I suppose animal caretaker. But those animals seem to be close to wild animals rather than people's.
No, but I mean for people's pets, like prior to.
Who has a bear as a pet?
No, I don't mean the bear. I mean like when she was like at her house and stuff. I'm pretty sure I remember her looking after animals for other
I suppose
people.
that's true. Yeah. But I'm just saying that the whole point is
the difficulty.
You should employ someone.
Well, yeah, that's what I was sort of saying in the episode. I think Fluttershy really is sort of taking on too much. I think she's still taking on too much. Even at the end of that episode when she learned her lesson, the only thing that that Angel really did, the only thing they really got out of it was that Angel was going to help with the chores.
Yeah,
but Angel's a rabbit. Realistically, how much more can Angel do for Fluttershy than, say, a couple of ponies that are trained in animal welfare that can take care of them? Seriously, Fluttershy, just
she solved a symptom of the problem. She solved a symptom of the problem, but she hasn't actually solved the problem.
She's fixed her she's improved her relationship with her rabbit. That's good. She's potentially got someone who can assist her with some of her chores.
Hopefully that will make her realise she needs more assistance.
What's not going to help is that her sanctuary, as we've seen, is constantly getting new creatures added to it. And guess what? A rabbit can't look after a fucking snake because a fucking snake's going to eat the rabbit. It's the whole bridge situation, with the grain, the chicken and the fox, where you have to get them across the bridge without eating each other. And you have to keep taking them back and forth to make sure they're not...
Yeah, it's possible, but it's a pain in the ass, and you probably wouldn't want to do it if there was any other option. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
What are we doing when we're putting snakes in very sort of close proximity to a baby elephant, which apparently it can eat?
How? Just how?
I know that snakes can dislodge their jaw in order to swallow very large things, but they can't swallow a fucking elephant. That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
I don't care how big. It would have to be a pretty bloody big snake.
Right. Is this snake fucking Nagini from Harry Potter? Is it the fucking basilisk? Like what? How?
Yeah, I have to admit there were so many things in this episode that broke my brain and probably made it more entertaining for it because
this episode was surprisingly dark.
Yeah,
like we're tackling the topic of predators eating prey animals. Which, again, I won't consider an elephant prey in any context. When the fuck have you seen a lion eating an elephant?
I think a lion could take out an elephant?
No. An elephant would stomp the fuck out of a lion.
Okay, I don't really know that much about animal care, but I guess that the elephant would... Maybe it would just take on a baby elephant.
Maybe, but the thing about baby elephants is they're normally with mama elephant. A mama elephant is a big fucking mama.
Okay, fair.
Which begs the question, what happened to mama elephant? Did mama elephant die? Is that what we've got?
Oh God, this is going even darker.
Is this a whole Scootaloo situation again?
Oh, flipping hell. Yo,
Is this the Applejack thing again?
I think it's more Applejack than Scootaloo because we know that she's actually got
Is this elephant Batman is what I'm trying to say. My parents are dead! That aside, great story actually. I really enjoyed the story. I'm going to give it an 8.
Yeah, I would say, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't call it, I wouldn't give it, the toilet, it didn't feel like it was, okay, yeah, I would give it an 8. I mean,
I think while the topic of the episode wasn't really original, it was actually original compared to the MLP episodes. We've never really had a proper. Well, have we ever had a body swap episode really?
I don't think I remember there being one.
There was, I mean, there's obviously the Discord episode where they all kind of changed their behaviours, like the main six.
Yeah, there's been plenty of episodes like that, but there's never been a body swap. No.
Not
I would say it's definitely original for MLP.
Original for MLP, but not an original trope at all. But
Well,
just because it's not an original trope doesn't mean it can't be done well.
I mean,
and I think the whole rabbit and pony switch thing was just so absurd, but actually really well done.
Yeah, okay, I'll admit. Yeah, for that reason, I will give it an 8. Because it's something that we wouldn't have expected. Humour, I would say.
I would say again, humour was really good as a result of what they were doing. I think they did like a really kind of great job with the humour.
I would say about a 7.
Yeah. I mean, I can't argue with that. I can't think of anything that really kind of knocked the score off. It was interesting to actually see Angel's personality personified, actually.
Yeah.
Or not pony-sified?
I think it was more like seeing his actual personality and what his inner voice, what he actually sounded like, and his mannerisms. Because you wouldn't normally hear them. You could sort of hear them being interpreted by Fluttershy, but you never actually got to hear him talk. That was the closest we ever heard to him actually talking.
Yeah, and that was quite interesting as well. I also found it quite cute how when he was first trying to get used to the pony thing.
I would say that's more of a thing on the entertainment part rather than humour. But I mean, animation. I have to admit, the animators definitely gave it They definitely communicated the fact that it was a different character in the body very well without having to show any special sort of discoloration or like the cutie mark swapping or something like or cutie marks changing or something like that.
I think again they did very well with this. As I say, one of the things that I found really kind of nice with the animation is when they first switched bodies was Angel trying to kind of do his kind of normal hop in Fluttershy's body. Yeah. Which I think is first of all like just a really kind of nice way
of detail.
Yeah. And also, obviously, there was quite a lot of nice animation, and
yeah. So I'd say it's more than standard. So I would say, and it's definitely. I don't think I could give it a 6 because it does not feel like a 6. I mean, it definitely. There was a lot of little details there that I think were above giving it just a 6. It wasn't just like some nice little flourishes that wouldn't have made. They wouldn't have made much difference to the actual episode. I think these things were kind of important to tell the story of somebody being in a different body to being a different sort of species even. Because it's a sort of,
likewise, I think the animation.
It's like how the human in question, the sort of fix, where they immediately be able to walk like a pony. When a human gets turned into a pony and they can immediately just flip and walk. It's like, no, you would have to get used to slightly differently. So yes, it kind of shows.
Yeah, I'd say it was a pretty sort of good. What are we going for again?
Animation.
Animation, that's the one. Yeah, so animation was good. I wouldn't say it's 8 good.
No, it wasn't 8.
I would say 6 is probably a bit too low. So
it would be I think it's good technical animation rather than good outstanding, oh my god, that was flipping amazing sort of animation.
I would give it a solid sort of 7.
Like, yeah, 7. I would give it 7. The score, I didn't really hear anything in that stood out to me. I would say
there was nothing really in the music that sort of stood out.
I think that's just 5. I would just give it a 5 because it's just nah. It was just there. You knew it was there because you didn't notice it not being there essentially. So I would just give that a 5.
Yeah. I mean, I can't really say anything about the music. There wasn't really anything stand out there that's really worth talking about. So, cutting up the total. Oh wait, no, we've got entertainment as well. And entertainment is actually where I have to give it good marks because it was an entertaining episode. It was a very entertaining episode, I think. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the whole sort of personality of Angel in his kind of...
Yeah, I have to admit, that was actually one of the things I will remember about this episode, and actually will make me want to come back to this episode, because I will definitely rewatch this episode, and that's definitely gives it points. So it's like, it's at least a 7 for me wanting to at least watch it.
I was quite amused as well by the reaction of the vet when Angel when Angel and Fluttershy sort of met up, and she's sort of looking like they're slightly crazy and just slowly backing away.
Oh god, yeah, that was a nice detail. That was a nice touch to it. It's like, I mean, to be honest, that's a little bit more point on animation, but that just adds to what I was saying earlier. But I think that it was certainly entertaining to watch, I'll give you that much, because it was... So yeah, I'd creep it towards as at least a 7, but I would say an 8 even. Maybe.
I was going to say I'd actually give it an 8 rather than a 7.
I think you're right, because it was definitely really entertaining. So I'd give it 8.
I think it was a lot of fun, that episode. Like a lot of genuine sort of fun to actually watch the episode and experience the episode.
Yes, it wasn't like some episodes where they relied a little bit too much on cringe factor. This wasn't that sort of humour. This was, because it could have easily gone down that route.
There's some episodes that can have great music, they can have great animation, but the entertainment value is quite low for other reasons. Maybe the story is just meh. Maybe the characters just aren't acting as you'd expect them to. So ultimately, I think this was a good, well-rounded episode with a good entertainment value.
So what did we give the story? We gave the story...
So we went, I believe we went 8, 8, 7, 8, 8, 8, 7, 8, and then 5 for the music, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So 16, 23, 31, 36...
So 36.
36 out of 50, not bad.
That's not bad, because 25 is average.
25 is about as average as you can get.
So it was definitely, one of the better episodes of this show. I'll say that much.
I would say it was one of the better episodes of this particular season. Now, I haven't seen as many episodes this season, but that was a good episode. I did enjoy that. And I'm really curious to see kind of what they're going to do in next episode. I don't think that this episode is really going to tie in at all, really.
I don't think it is. I think it was a good filler episode, as we would call it in anime. It would basically be a really good episode.
It was a good filler episode,
It made up the... You could watch this episode if you knew a lot about... If you watched the previous seasons and knew a little bit about Fluttershy, as long as you watched the one where she got her animal sanctuary, you could watch this one and not have to watch any of the other ones in the rest of the season, because I don't think this will tie in to the other ones. I don't see how this can tie in, unless there is one thing that I could point out. That potion that switched bodies?
Yeah.
In the previous episode we were watching, Chrysalis did mention how she was planning on pitting all the different species against one another. Maybe they could use that to put them in each other's horseshoes.
I
know it's convoluted as hell, but if they wanted to pull a curveball on us, they could make that potion become important that way. Getting Sakura to
I personally think,
and although it is a bit of a stretch,
I think it was just a plot device for this particular episode.
Yeah.
I think it would be a bit kind of crazy to try and switch that many bodies. Like, can you imagine trying to keep track of that many different personalities? And
oh my god, that
would
would be crazy as hell. Yeah,
It's just like, wait, so who are we meant to make Applejack again?
Yeah, that's.
I feel like it would just be way too complicated.
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, that makes a very valid point.
But yeah, I think this was 100% filler. But I think as far as filler goes,
it was
pretty good.
It was really good episode. I mean, it was close to the previous one that wasn't a filler episode. You can sort of tell which episodes in this season aren't filler because there's the episodes that are like. I mean, to be honest, I kind of thought that security one that they had was going to be filler, but it turned out not to. They wrote to be 200 episode one. But anyway, I'm rambling at this point. I think we pretty much exhausted this. As we said earlier, the action in discussion, I think we pretty much said all we can here. We've done this to death.
Yeah.
So,
as usual, my name is Skybound.
Starlight Flux.
And we'll see you for the next episode of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. Goodbye.
Bye.